Just when the Power Rangers franchise was about to come to the end, In Space happened. And what a successful season that was. I mean, we got more Power Rangers seasons because of In Space. And that's why I believe Power Rangers in Space is the most important and impactful season of the entire franchise. Let's get into this right now.
So that's the way you want it, huh?
Now, going into Power Rangers in Space, the franchise was fighting from behind. Turbo brought it down. Fan interest was down. The fan base wasn't even that big. Ratings was god awful. And you can tell by watching Turbo. There's no shade to the actors. I mean, they had to deal with whatever writing that they were given. The only time Power Rangers Turbo was really great was the finale, Chase into Space, an episode that I praise all the time because I felt like the writing was different. And that's why I always say Power Rangers in Space did not start on episode 1 in space. It kind of started from a Chase into Space with the Turbo finale going into Power Rangers in Space, that very first episode when they meet Andros. But I just felt like, where was this writing throughout Turbo? I felt like we had a different set of writers throughout the whole season of Turbo. You nearly took out the entire franchise with poor writing. The characters wasn't even that the best. The villain, Divatox, they dropped the ball with her, even though she got the W. You know, there was so many things that they fumbled with Power Rangers Turbo. But I feel like going into Power Rangers in Space, it just felt different. It just felt like they got their hunger back. You know, going back from the Mighty Morphin days when they was trying to build this franchise, they was trying to save this franchise. Just look at the stories that we got. We got Andros, who's this lone wolf Red Ranger who the Turbo Rangers meet, you know, following their loss in the Chase into Space. We meet Andros, and he's on a mission. He's already a Red Ranger, so we already know who's going to be, you know, kind of leading this team in a way. But he's the Red Ranger, and he has his own ship. He has these other Power Ranger morphers, and he's on a mission to find his sister, Corone, who turns out to be astronomer later down the line in the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, this season was so good. It had me hooked from the very beginning. They showed different villains throughout the whole thing. They didn't just stick with astronomer. You know, we had cameos from I think Divatox. I think we seen like Lord Zed and Rita here and there. And then also one of the other main stories in Power Rangers in Space was the fact that we was trying to find Zordon. Zordon was captured and the Rangers was trying to find him. So throughout this whole thing, we were on a search to find Andros' sister, Corone. And then we're trying to find out where Zordon's at. We had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers teaming up in that season. We had Adam Park returning, which I feel like he should have returned for some more episodes. We also had Justin making a return for a one-off episode. I wish they used him more. I feel like they could have definitely used the Justin character a little bit more, but I feel like they was at least trying. We had so many great moments, epic fights, villains, twists and turns, Psycho Rangers. When you think about Power Rangers in Space, one of the things that comes up are the Psycho Rangers. What a fantastic arc that was. You know, you had this arc where the Rangers did not know what to do. The Psycho Rangers, they were so overpowered, and the Rangers had to really figure out the strategies, the different ways that they can take them out. This was good. They gave the audience something to latch onto. Those are the episodes that I love. As a Power Ranger fan, I love those episodes where the Rangers really have to dig down deep. You know, you have the Monster of the Week episodes, but I love those arcs. I love when the Rangers struggle. And that's what Power Rangers in Space gave us, man. We had so many moments like that. We also had Astronomer turning good. She turned into Corone, and then they corrupted her again, and she was even more menacing. You know, we had the Countdown to Destruction, one of the best Power Ranger episodes ever. You bring back all the villains. Every villain was there. Everybody fighting on Earth. The Rangers fighting on Earth. We had the smashing of the two. Zordon sacrificing himself. The ultimate sacrifice that would have ended the Power Rangers franchise. You know, up until that point, when they was done filming in space, that was supposed to be the last season of Power Rangers. And if Power Rangers ended right there, what a way to go out. That would have been the perfect way to end Power Rangers. You know, if they was able to get certain actors to come on the show just for that smashing of the tube moment, that would have been great. But for the tools and everything that they were given, they did that well. And they picked the right way, the perfect way to end the Power Rangers franchise up until that point. Because You know, if Zordon rids the earth and the universe of all this evil and everything, what more do we have to fight for? You know what I'm saying? So if the show ended there in space, not only made Power Rangers feel special again, but it left with a big bang. It left with a big impact. You know, it was a season that felt refreshed. We had real stakes. We had a darker tone. We had a great Red Ranger in Andros in his development, because he was a lone wolf guy, but then he had to learn how to be with a team. And then the story with Zane about how he basically saved Zane's life. You know, Zane, you know, he was in that little chamber thing, and we found out who the Silver Ranger was, and Zane joins the battle again. And that was a great twist and turn, because I'm a fan of a good Six Ranger, and I felt like Zane was a pretty solid Six Ranger. And the story of Zane and Andros was a pretty fun one. And when he got brought onto the team and the Zane episodes, it was pretty fun. And then we have Astronomer, my favorite Power Rangers villain. Yes, I said it. My favorite Power Rangers villain. She actually had a story. She had layers. She actually had a dark story. She was kidnapped and kind of brainwashed into being evil. And she was really strong at the end. Like, about time she was about to take over the entire universe. You know, Divatox, she got the W over the Power Rangers. She destroyed the power chamber and all of that. But Astronomer was about to take out the entire galaxy. She was about to do it. She was about to do it. And if it wasn't for the smashing of the tube, I don't know, maybe she would have succeeded. So let's back it up to Mighty Morphin. This season established the entire franchise from the very beginning. It built the foundation. We find out what Power Rangers really was. We get the iconic characters, we get the iconic villains, we get all the battles, we get the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, we get Tommy Oliver, the greatest Power Ranger of all time. It was awesome. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I go back from time to time. It's a fun season to watch. At the same time, Mighty Morphin didn't take the risk that In Space did. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had us arcs here and there. We had, you know, sometimes the Zords would get destroyed. You had Tommy losing his powers. We had, you know, the original red, black, and yellow Ranger trading their power off to new sets of Rangers. We had moments like that, but I felt like In Space had way more darker, deeper risk than Mighty Morphin. Then we go to Power Rangers Zeo. It continued the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers story. It still had a bit of a strong cast. It had Tommy leading the charge. It had the return of Jason, the OG Red Ranger, but this time he's the Gold Ranger, which that was one of my favorite parts of the entire season. But at the same time, I still felt like Zeo was missing something. The villain was not Astronomer at all. King Mondo, yes, you're catching your daily stray. King Mondo is no Astronomer. Astronomer laps him, okay? Laps him with ease, you know what I'm saying? King Mondo was not a good villain. You know, people be trying to tell me King Mondo was good, the Machine Empire was good. Oh my gosh, no. That was goofy, bruh. And I know Power Rangers not supposed to be overly serious. You know, we had Rita, Lord Zed, but it's just like, you go from Rita, Lord Zed, and then you go to King Mondo. No. Astronomer, better villain, hands down. And then we go to Power Rangers Turbo, which brought the ratings down and fan interest down. We had that awkward power transfer that was just so weird to watch. And then we got Divatox that I feel like could have been a solid villain, but they just dropped the ball with her. She just never came across as a real threat. And the overall tone of the show was childish. And I know it's kind of weird to say because Power Rangers is supposed to be a children's show, a kid show, which I consider to be a family show, but it's supposed to be a children's show or whatever the case may be. But there's a difference between having a villain like Divatox and having a villain like Astronomer. Astronomer had her moments, but she was still serious. Divatox was just like, she was so goofy to the point that I did not ever feel like the Rangers was actually in any danger up until the final episode. Yes, she got the W at the end, and I guess that's what really matters. She was like one of the Power Ranger villains who actually defeated the Power Rangers and had them losing their powers and things like that. But overall, throughout the show, she just wasn't that interesting to me. She had a cool design and everything. I think she started out great. Like, I was a fan of Divatox in the beginning. I actually like her more than King Mondo. But it was just like, nah, dog. Like, y'all got to do something better, man. But she got the W, though. But bringing it back to Power Rangers in Space, I think for people who want to get into Power Rangers, if there was one season that I would show them, if it's not Mighty Morphin, it would be Power Rangers in Space. this is a season that made me appreciate the franchise way more. This is a season that made me see what Power Rangers can be, how deep it can go, the sacrifices, the real stakes. The show made me invested. The crossover moments, the cameos, the bringing people back, the way that the show ended. It ended on a very emotional note. I mean, you had Zordon, who was the mentor from the very first episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and you see his sacrifice at the end. You know, this is a character that for Power Ranger fans we've grown attached to. We have Mighty Morphin, we have the Power Rangers movie, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, we have the Turbo movie, we have Zordon and Alpha in the beginning of Power Rangers Turbo, and then they dipped up out of there, but then Zordon comes back. And we, as a Power Rangers fan base, as the audience, we love Zordon. We want Zordon to be protected and saved. Imagine going through this whole season and we trying to find Zordon. We find Zordon, and Zordon is just like, listen, the only way to save this universe is to break the tube. I'm gonna always be around, but I'm going to rid the universe of the evil. It was a tough moment for Andros. I wish it could have been either Tommy or Jason, but they had to deal with the cards that they was given in their hand. And I like the moment. Power Rangers in Space set the bar moving forward for Power Rangers. And going into Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, I think they tried their best with keeping that momentum going, keeping that serious tone going. I think Lost Galaxy was a pretty solid season. We had a lot of great moments in there, including the In Space crossover, which right now is one of my favorite crossover episodes. That was a moment that made me excited again. It was good to see my old Rangers come back, fighting along with the new Rangers at the time, the Lost Galaxy Rangers. You think about all these seasons past in space, and then we got Lost Galaxy, who many people love. We have Time Force, who people consider one of the best seasons of Power Rangers. We have Wild Force, we have Dino Thunder, we have Samurai that people love, we have RPM that people love, and we probably wouldn't have got it if Power Rangers in Space had failed. You know, Power Rangers would have just ended right then and there, but we wouldn't have seen the expansion of this universe. We wouldn't have seen the true potential of what Power Rangers could have been if Power Rangers in Space failed. So we got to be grateful to this franchise, and that's why I believe that this season right here in Space goes beyond my personal opinion. I just look at what other people have said. They said the ratings for this show was really high. People love Power Rangers more. It brought people back to the franchise. And this is what made them be like, okay, maybe we're not done with Power Rangers. Maybe we can keep this going. Maybe we can bring some of these Rangers back in future seasons. It got the wheels turning. You know, of course, they was thinking about money as well. But from a TV show standpoint, I started to see deeper episodes. I started to see deeper character arcs and stories being told post Zordon era. And, you know, we got to thank this show for that. So let me know what you guys think. Do you agree or do you disagree with my opinion? Let your boy know. And remember, this is not about your favorite season or whatever the case may be, because you may feel that other seasons were better than In Space. I respect that opinion, but from what I'm coming from, and I hope you got from this video, is because of the success, it led to Power Rangers becoming a bigger universe. So that's more so where I'm coming from. But let me know what you guys think. Comment your favorite season of Power Rangers. If it's not In Space, let your boy know in the comment section, all right? Until the next video, your boy the Wildcat, J. Troy, is out.